Ever hear points people say something like sub or DP, P2 or sweet spot and wonder if you've accidentally joined a secret club?
Well, today we're breaking down the slang terms and lingo you'll hear in the Points and Miles world so you can follow every deal, every tip, and strategy this year.
By the end of this episode, you'll talk like someone who's been in this hobby for years.
And you won't have to pretend that you know what HUCA means anymore.
Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to the Upgraded Points Podcast.
And I'm Katie, and today we are talking all about Points and Miles, lingo, slang terms, acronyms, and all of those weird words that you hear and you read when you are in the Points and Miles world. Before we get to that, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have questions or comments that you would like answered on the show, you can email us at podcast@upgradedpoints.com.
All right. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. This year, we're kicking things off by decoding the secret language of Points and Miles.
Yeah, the Points and Miles world seems to have its own vocabulary. And if you're new, this can make things way more complicated than they need to be.
But don't worry, we're here to break down every term, acronym, and bit of jargon you'll hear this year.
So let's get it started. Chris, why don't you get us going with our first two bits of Points and Miles lingo?
All right. So one that a lot of us that have maybe a partner, a husband or wife will use a lot is P2 or player 2. This means that you're playing this Points and Miles game with two players, and that can help unlock a lot more award redemptions. That means twice as many flights, twice as many hotels, twice as many whatevers. When you have a player 2, that means you're playing with twice as many potential points. The next one that I will cover is stacking. And stacking is when you are taking more than one deal and stacking them on top of each other so you get more value. So for example, if you take an Amex offer and then go buy something through Rakuten, you will get that cash back or bonus points plus the cash back and bonus points from Rakuten. So by stacking, you can just double up on all of your rewards there.
We love stacking. It's always a good one.
Mm-hmm. You may let me step back.
Yeah.
You may also see the emoji of pancakes.
I've not seen that. Is that a thing? Okay.
It's a thing. You get a stack of pancakes.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. I like it. Okay, the next one is credit card churning, which is actually a term that used to be a lot more popular. I heard it all the time back in the day, maybe, a dozen years ago. But it is still around and you might see it. And it is simply the act of playing the Points and Miles game, getting a credit card sign-up bonus, using that card for a bit, getting another credit card sign-up bonus, doing it over and over and over again. And that is credit card churning. The other one I'm going to cover is mattress running and mileage running. And this is a kind of crazy concept when you actually think about it. It is booking a flight or a hotel room that you don't actually need. And you're doing it simply to earn elite night credits maybe, or maybe you are stacking some amazing deals. So you're getting more back by booking this a flight or hotel than it actually costs to book that. So it is something not super common, but it happens. And if you're new to the game, you don't have to get into that quite yet, but just know what it is.
Not yet, she says.
Yeah, but maybe someday you will.
You will consider it at one point, especially if you're chasing high globalist status.
And you'll seem crazy to your friends and family when you tell them that you are booking a hotel or a flight that you don't actually need.
All right, the next one I'm going to cover is open jaw. And this essentially means that you are flying into one city and returning from another. So you might want to do this for a few different reasons. Maybe you found a better deal out of one city, or the program that you're using offers this feature. So you could fly into one city in Europe, take the train or another form of transportation to another, and then fly home from a different city. And there are many reasons you want to do that, but that is a term you may come across as you start leveling up your miles redemptions. The next one that you've probably seen by now is 524. And this is the unofficial rule from Chase. And this means that you cannot open up, well, they will not approve you for a card if you have opened up more than 5 credit cards in the past 24 months. And this has become sort of, one of the first things you learn when you start getting into this points and miles game, because you will want to start with Chase so that 524 clock starts ticking and they start falling off your history. This doesn't impact any other banks. So generally people like to start with Chase. And then once you hit those 5 cards, then you start moving on to other banks. That's not a hard and fast rule, but if you see that 524, that's what it means.
Yep. And the next one is the coupon book. And this has kind of come into fashion the last couple years, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on a lot of things. And when you hear us talk about the coupon book, it is just the phenomenon that especially these higher end cards have now, where the annual fees are getting very, very high, but they come with a lot of benefits that are essentially coupons. They're the credits for, Resi or Uber or whatever. And you kind of have to keep track of them like coupons. So anytime you hear that, it's just referring to that sort of phenomenon where these cards have all of these different credits and things that you have to use in different bits and pieces. And couponizing, you might hear, couponization. You can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couponathon. I just made that one up.
The Toyotathon, Couponathon.
And the next one, if you are reading an article and you see SUB, that can be confusing, and that means sign up bonus, which is also known as a welcome bonus. And that is simply just the big chunk of points that you can earn when you sign up for a credit card. And this will usually look like, you apply for the credit card and you spend $3,000-$4,000 in 3 months, let's say, and you earn 75,000 points. That chunk of 75,000 points or whatever it is the sign up bonus, the SUB, or the welcome bonus.
Very nice. Very important.
Oh yeah, we love those.
We love our SUBs. Okay, the next acronym we're going to cover is DP, and DP stands for data point. So if you're in our Facebook group or reading the site and you see someone mention DP, that means there is a data point out there for something. Usually it is some sort of statement credit, or maybe the way that a company is charging and shows the category that's charging on your statement. There can be a million different data points, but if you see that, that's usually what it means. The next one that I will cover is positioning flight. And now this is something that Katie and I do a lot, because when we are searching for some of these, high-end business class flights, they're not always available from our home airport. So Katie, for example, she just flew from New York, and so she flew from Columbus to New York, and that Columbus to New York was a positioning flight that gets you in position for that main flight that you're looking for.
Yep, those are very important, especially if you're just starting out. It's something you might not realize is there when we're talking about all of these big redemptions. I'm not finding any of these from Columbus. I got to get to these other cities. So positioning flights are really important. The next one is Amex pop-up jail. And unfortunately, Chase has caught on to the Amex pop-up jail, so we might have to change the name. But this simply refers to when you are submitting an application for a credit card, you will get a pop-up sometimes that says, for whatever reason, we aren't going to give you this welcome bonus. You're not eligible, but you can continue your credit card application and get the card. For most of us, that means like we don't want the card. You only really want it with the welcome bonus. And it's long been something that Amex has had, and we're starting to see it with Chase now, unfortunately. So anytime you hear us talk about pop-up jail, means we have gotten that pop-up, and we kind of refer to it as being in jail because you cannot get Amex cards for a while when you're in pop-up jail. So that's no fun. The next one is metal. And I'm not talking about Metallica or Motley Crue, although that is fun too, and I will talk to you about that anytime you want. Metal simply refers to the actual airplane you are flying on. So you might hear someone say, hey, I was on AA Metal. That just means they were on an American Airlines plane. And since we book flights a lot of times through different programs, you'll hear this a lot. So someone might say, hey, I booked via Turkish Airlines on United Metal. It means they're flying a United airplane. but they booked it through Turkish.
That's a good one. Yep. Next will be earn and burn, and this is a mantra that I love to preach. I'm not always the best at doing it, but earn and burn means you're earning your points and then you're using them as fast as possible. You're burning them. We recommend this because points and miles are subject to devaluations at any moment. So you may be earning and earning and earning. You have hundreds of thousands of points and you're ready to redeem them, and all of a sudden that redemption you've been eyeing costs twice as much. Hopefully that never happens to you, but it does happen, and that's why we recommend just earn and burn. Points are not a currency that increase in value, just the opposite. So get them and use them. The next one I will talk about is getting Bonvoyed, and
No one wants
this
that.
one, I know, this one came up a few years ago when Marriott took over SPG, and pretty much all of the loyal fans from SPG just really felt like they were getting screwed over by Marriott, and they termed the coin getting Bonvoyed. So if you ever see someone online complaining about Marriott stay or redemption or whatever, and they say getting Bonvoyed, that means that they felt like they got screwed over.
Next one is AvGeek, and this is someone who gets a little too into the aviation aspect of this hobby. There are a lot of people who just are really into plane types and very specific plane types, and that's that AvGeek, and it's not a bad thing. There are plenty
Not
of
at
great
all.
AvGeeks.
Absolutely.
AvGeeks, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, anytime you hear that, it's just someone who was really into the aviation side of the game. Gate lice. These are those
Ugh.
people that will just crowd around the boarding area of the flight.
Get away.
And they're in like group 9 and they're calling for
Always.
pre-boarders and they're standing there blocking people. This happened to me coming home last month on my flight from Europe. And I was like, are you waiting? And they're just there.
Throwing
Group
bows.
9. Like, get out of my way. So that's gate lice. Don't be gate lice. You can be an av geek, but don't be gate lice.
Exactly, yes. Here's something else we don't recommend. Raw dogging. This popped up on a trend on social media last year, and it is essentially just flying your entire flight without any entertainment, and at maximum, watching the flight map the entire flight.
Well, are you going to take a nap or
No.
you just going to sit there staring at the back of the seat?
So
That
I
sounds
love to
awful.
watch. It does, and I think it started as a joke, but I don't know if maybe people are doing it to disconnect or whatever. But yeah, some people just sit in the plane and just stare. So that's what raw dogging is when talking points and miles world. The next is AU, and AU stands for authorized user. So if you have a credit card, you can add an authorized user to your card that can use your card and get some similar benefits, and you'll be responsible for their charges as well. But that person would not need to go and apply for their own version to get their card. Now, that authorized user does not get any welcome bonus, and there are some limitations on what benefits they have, but AU generally refers to authorized user.
And just as a side note on that, you might see the term like additional user, I think is what some of the credit card programs are using now. So if you're reading, information about a card and you see something about an additional user, that's the same as an authorized user. Sometimes, they tweak the lingo a little bit there, but it's the same thing. Okay, next one is YMMV. You will see this a lot when you are reading anything about the points and miles world, and it just stands for your miles may vary. And that simply means someone might be on there on Reddit or a blog or our Facebook group giving their experience, and that's great. But your miles may vary because that doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. So anytime you see that, just know, well, you should know that all the time, but you'll see that definitely on some of these things where people are giving you DPs, data points,
Nice.
for you to decide maybe if you're going to try a stacking opportunity. See what I'm doing there,
Wow.
Chris? Yeah, no.
I want some pancakes now.
Yeah, ooh, that sounds great. So just know that means you kind of watch your back, make sure that you understand that the same outcome might not happen for you. And the last one we're going to talk about right now is CPP. When you see that, it means cents per point. And this is something that you're going to see quite a bit of you'll hear us talk a lot about cents per point. And this is a really good way to understand the value you're getting from your points. Because especially when you're a beginner, and I made this mistake really bad when I first started out, I didn't realize that a point is not a point. A Hyatt point does not have the same value as a Hilton point, does not have the same value as a Delta mile. And cents per point is a good way for us to sort of have a level playing field so you can easily see which one might be worth a little bit more. And it helps you understand the value you're getting for your points. Some people in the hobby are very strict about, I will only do, X cents per point. That's a whole nother discussion we can get into at another point in time. You can decide what your feeling towards cents per point is. I know some people are like, I don't care. Fine. Just understand what it is that you're either ignoring or embracing. And it's just cents per point.
Very important stuff. All right, well, let's take a break. And when we get back, I have a little game in store for Katie. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. We have a new segment that I'm going to coin Say It or Explain It. It's a little quiz that I just made up, and we're going to test Katie to see if she really knows what she's talking about. All right, Katie, I'm going to throw out some points terms, and you have 5 seconds to explain it like you're talking to a first timer. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
I'm born ready. Let's go.
All right. First one, sweet spot.
Oh, sweet spot is a booking that gives you way more value than usual, and it's sometimes the best part of a particular program, like booking Japan business class for 60,000 points.
Okay, good. What about HUCA?
HUCA or HUCA. I mean, depends on how you want to say it. HUCA, you will see this, and it stands for hang up, call again, and it simply refers to the fact that when you are calling customer service, you might get someone who either does not know what they're talking about or is having a really bad day. So if the outcome is not what you want, hang up, call again, and see if the next agent can be a better fit for you.
Good one. Okay, you're 2 for 2. Here's an easy one. Transfer partner.
Oh, okay. I know that one. It's airline and hotels that you can transfer your transferable points to. So like Amex, Citi, Chase, Capital One, they're transferable points, and you can transfer those to airline and hotel partners.
Okay. Here's a little bit harder one. Dynamic pricing.
Ooh, so that's when the pricing changes based on lots of factors, including demand, when a program does not have an award chart anymore. And that's usually not amazing, but occasionally it can be good, and you can find a little sweet spot.
Okay, now you're just showing off. All right, last one, devaluation.
No one wants a devaluation. That is when a program makes your points worth less, and no one wants that. And it is a sad, sad day, but it happens, and that's why we earn a burn.
Yes. Okay. You passed with flying colors, Katie, as expected.
Thank you. I'll be here all day. Awesome. Well, that was fun. Next time I am asking you the questions, Chris. I'm going to put you on the spot next time. Okay. We have one question, and this one is for you. This is from YouTube. And this person said, on a previous episode, I heard you mention using Priority Pass to access Chase Sapphire lounges. How does that work?
Yes. So this is a great question. And I'm now realizing that it's not as widely known as I thought it was. But the official name of these Chase Sapphire lounges are the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the Club. And the club is a Priority Pass lounge. And so your Priority Pass membership that you get from any card will allow you to enter a Chase Lounge once per calendar year. So you can swipe your physical Priority Pass card, or if you have the QR code in your app, if you're logged into the right account, you can just scan that and it'll automatically say this is your one visit per year, or you've already used it. If you're like us and you happen to have more than one Priority Pass, maybe you get it from one Amex card, from a Chase card, Capital One card, whatever. If you don't feel like carrying around all of your Priority Pass physical cards, You just make sure that you create your account online with Priority Pass and get your logins all set up, and you can just swap between them all in the app. It takes a couple taps, but you can just tap into one Chase Sapphire Lounge with your QR code, and then a couple weeks later, just bring up the other QR code that you haven't used yet, and you can get it. After that, it's $75 per visit to get in, but you do get one per calendar year.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great tip. And if you have those Priority Pass, make sure you check out the Sapphire Lounges because they are quite nice. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week. If you have questions or comments for us for this segment, you can email us at podcast@upgradedpoints.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you are watching or listening. And we will see you next week.